Hello, this is Mr. McMurray. I hope you're having a good day. It's a nice spring day, so I thought I'd go outside today and do this recording. About the time I decided that, the sirens went off and the jet went overhead, and I hear a bunch of grackles in the background. Don't know if you can hear them or not. So anyhow, we'll see. But we'll just go ahead and get started. This is the Pivot Lab Convection, the Atmosphere and Oceans. Okay, and I think it's fairly straightforward. You have a video here, and they're going to put either something hot at the top and cold at the bottom, and then use an infrared uh, camera to show the different temperatures by the different colors. So, for example, if I run this, you put, I believe, cold at the top, I think, or maybe it's not. No, it's hot. Sorry, hot, and then they put cold ice water down here at the bottom. Okay, and then they're going to see what happens to that over time. The only tool you have is this one, and it's you think a key to the color. It's to take temperature, and it does say that over here, I believe, but you have to pause it for this to work. Okay, when you pause it, then it goes through this little processing the frame thing, and eventually, when it gets done, all right, it will tell you what the temperature is wherever you have your thing. So 23 degrees there. Um, you move it up here to the top, then it's up to 44. Move it down here, and it will tell you 14. I think it's about the 13 right there. Okay, and so forth, like this. All right, so that's how you do the temperature. You click on this, it'll have a thing over here, but it will not do that. It will not work until it is paused. So you need to pause it at wherever. Okay, now, for example, this one tells you to pause the video once they have poured all the water in. You have the hot water on top, cold water on bottom. Okay, and then it'll ask you some questions. Then it will say play it to the very end, and then it will ask you some questions. All right, and then that will allow you to do that. And that's basically what's here. Then some conclusions from that. All right, then they give you a picture of a similar type thing. Well, say that. Okay, there are two of these. I think I should mention it. It'll tell you that in the instructions. But there are two. One with a hot bottom, cold top, and then later there will be one with a hot top and cool bottom. Pretty sure I don't see it, but it's in here. I'm pretty sure when I did it, made us. All right, then they're going to give you this picture of the different layers of the atmosphere, the exosphere, is basically once you're kind of getting out into outer space, the thermosphere, the mesosphere, the stratosphere, and the troposphere. And they're going to ask you about, are they more like the hot top, bottom, cold top, can't tell, or hot top, cold bottom. So they just want to know which one of these are they more like, and therefore which one would the air there act more like when it comes to convection currents. Okay. Then they have some other questions down here, just talking about how that kind of works with weather and affects whether it's going to be rainy or sunny and so forth, and how the convection currents of air rising and falling creates low pressure or high pressure areas. They even have a picture later of the different global winds that we went over in the notes. Okay, and you have to use that. This one you may have tried a few times, but I think it gives you unlimited submissions, so you can keep trying it till you get them all. All right, then this is room temperature water. On this one, all right, they're going to pour in some water. Maybe there's any other option. No, okay. All right. And so basically you get room temperature, which is like the ocean. Then they're going to put a dye in there, and they're going to see what happens to that and what it says about the density of the dye and the water. Then you'll go to this one with cold water, and we'll see what happens there. And then you got an image here to answer questions about the location of where would you expect to be warmer water, where would you expect to be cooler water, things like that. And then they will go down to salt water, see how that affects it. Okay, and so we're trying to move how salt water will move. How does the salt affect how the water circulates? Then this one, you have cold water and blue water, and seeing how they interact in the water. All right, thermocline, which has a temperature, and haline, thermohaline. Thermocline would be lines of different temperature. The The thermal haline would be has to do with temperature and also has to do about the salinity and talk about how that affects the circulation in these. All right. And putting it all together, they're just kind of going to say, what does that do at the equator in these different places on the globe? Um, and put these in order of how they spread the energy throughout the globe. So, kind of what happens first, and how does that change things other places when the circulation starts from there, and so forth. Okay. Once again, you have infinite numbers of submissions, so it may take a little while to get those in the exact correct order, and they will usually tell you which ones it is not. Okay, and then they're also going to tell you, give you some statements here, really just true or false, or correct or incorrect, which is kind of the same thing. But anyhow, they're going to do that. I saved that. All right. Oh, I'm sorry. You got to drag them from the bottom, I think. Well, I don't know. Well, mine are not saying correct or incorrect. Hopefully, let's say that somewhere here. There's a check or an X, and I guess maybe you just. Oh, there you go. Sorry. Click on it, and yeah, looks like there's should be some choices there, but hopefully they come up for you better than they are for me right now. Well, if not, I'm sure I'll hear about that. So let me know if they do not work out properly for you. They're not doing quite what they need to right now. Anyhow, that's kind of it for this one. Like I said, not a whole lot other than making sure you pause it on the first ones, the convections up here, and you make sure you do that in order to read the actual temperatures. All right. Other than that, have a great day and a great lab.